Hello, everyone. My name is Hussein Jabber. I'm the Director of Fraud and Financial Crimes at GoodLabs Studio. Today, we will be showcasing how we can leverage Neo4j, the powerful graph database tool, to identify staged payroll fraud within the environment of a financial institution. Now, staged payroll fraud primarily looks to take advantage of building solid history and credit within the financial institution in order to further abuse other product lines such as loans, credit cards, and mortgages, and to qualify for the maximum and utilize the entire limit to conduct further fraudulent activity. So like previously, we must first have a starting point, and in this instance, we will use a query to identify businesses that are associated with business accounts that are issuing payroll to personal accounts, linking back to individuals. And as you can see here, we get an overwhelming number of results, approximately 258 different relationships, as typical of how a real payroll environment would look like. So with that said, we can use further capabilities to identify marked or suspected accounts. In this instance, we will use personal checking accounts and set the limit to 5 for the purpose of this investigation. And as you can see here, we have 5 accounts that are suspected of fraud. In this instance, we will go ahead and pick this one and clear the other nodes for the purpose of our investigation. So with that said, let's go ahead and drill into this account a little bit further. And as we can see, it has been marked as suspected fraud for payroll fraud as well as check kiting. So first, let's go ahead and identify who this account belongs to. And we can see here that it belongs to this one individual. Let's go ahead and see who is the issuing entity that is sending payroll to this personal account. As you can see here, we have one business account that is issuing payroll. And who does this business account belong to? Now, as you can see here, this business account belongs to this specific entity. Okay, now diving deeper, let's further identify if this individual has any other accounts associated. And as we can see here, they have one other account, and in this instance, it's a savings account. It's also been marked as suspected fraud for receiving payroll, as well as check kiting. Diving further into this, let's go ahead and see if this business account is also issuing payroll to other individuals. And as we can see here, in this instance, they are issuing payroll to two parties external to the financial institution. So digging deeper into this, let's go ahead and identify what devices these two personal accounts are using. And as we can see here, it appears that they're using two different devices that are also connected with both accounts. Diving deeper into this, let's go ahead and identify what IP addresses are associated with these two devices. As we can see, we have two new IP addresses that are being used by these two devices. So drilling further into this, let's go ahead and identify what other devices are using these IP addresses. And as you can see here, we have two other devices that are also utilizing the same IP address as our original devices here, which are associated back to these two personal accounts of this individual. Now, what accounts or individuals are using these two devices? And as you can see here, it appears that there's two business accounts that are using these two devices. Now, who does these business accounts belong to? These two business accounts belong to two of these entities here that are also using these devices, which are linked back to our original individual. So diving deeper into this, let's see if these two entities are associated with any other individuals that are owning these two entities. or what the shortest path is between these two entities. It appears that both of these entities are either receiving a transfer from this newly identified entity or sending a transfer to. But who is the individual associated with this entity and the business account that's associated with it as well? And it appears that it's associated with this one individual. Let's use the hierarchical layout and get a holistic view of this. So looking back into this, I want to see if there is a direct relationship that is established between this newly identified individual here, as well as our original individual here. Let's see if we can identify the shortest path. Now, as you can see, we identify a new account that is receiving funds or receiving transfers that is also transferring back to this business here that's associated with that individual. So as you can see now, we were able to establish an entire structure based on our original individual, linking back to 5 other institutions with 4 other business accounts, multiple devices, and multiple IPs. And from there, we can continue digging further into identifying other IP addresses, devices, personal accounts, business accounts, and entities to get a further picture into this. Thank you for joining us.